Next on Worcester News Tonight, package theft could pose risks for holiday shoppers. More on what the Better Business Bureau is warning. Plus, Worcester School Committee members pushing for a later start time at city high schools, but there could be a big problem. We'll have the details. Thanks for joining us. I'm Catherine Andrioli. If you're doing your holiday shopping online this year, you could be at risk for package theft, which increases during the holiday season, according to the Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau says there is an increase in package fraud during the holiday season due to the high volume of deliveries. They say scammers are known to follow delivery trucks and even drive through neighborhoods scouting unattended packages. Nancy Cahalan from the Central New England Division says incidents of package theft are on the rise, with many people doing their holiday shopping online instead of in stores.
From what we've seen, there's a rise in these package thefts during the holiday shopping season, and with more and more people buying their gifts online, this is happening more and more often.
The Better Business Bureau recommends taking precautions to prevent package theft by being diligent in tracking orders and to purchase insurance from the package if it is possible. A public hearing in Sturbridge Tuesday discussed the applications of 4 potential charter schools in Massachusetts. One of the applicants is looking to establish a new charter school in Sturbridge. It is supported by the management at Old Sturbridge Village. Members of the community had the opportunity to speak for or against the proposal. Old Sturbridge Village President and CEO James Donahue says a charter school is something the students and community members need and can benefit from.
And based on last year's interest, it does seem that there's a need in the community. And we have been targeting our student recruitment efforts in communities where there appears to be the need. So we're in Southbridge quite a bit.
If approved, Old Sturbridge Academy Charter Public School would open in 2017 or 2018. Worcester School Committee members are discussing plans to move back school start times at Worcester Public High Schools by 40 minutes. Some committee members say they are hoping to increase attendance in high schools with a later start time, but there could be a price that comes with it. Our Brittany Schaefer has the story.
It seems to be a more holistic way of educating our students.
The Worcester School Committee is studying ways to start high schools at a later time. During a standing committee meeting Monday night, members decided to put together an advisory committee to research a plan without breaking the budget.
It's very costly. It's very complicated. However, there is a tremendous amount of research out there and data that proves that at times this works.
All research has shown that a later starting time for the secondary age students does impact the learning.
Worcester Public High Schools currently start at 7:20 a.m. The proposed time change would be 8 a.m. The later school start is an effort to raise attendance in the high schools.
This, of course, will affect their attendance, their arrival at school, their enthusiasm, their engagement, and the cost to that is transportation that is holding us back.
The biggest obstacle to the plan is the high cost of transportation. A later start for high schools would require more buses, and Biancaria says the cost could range anywhere from $250,000 to more than $10 million.
There actually is no state funding and no state reimbursement for school transportation. So any money that would be required to do this would have to come from the local district.
Nobody wants more taxes taken out of their check.
Jared Matthews has 2 daughters in Worcester Public Schools and one is at Burncoat High School. He says giving his daughters more time in the morning would make his life easier.
That would give them more time to get ready and they won't be so cranky. And nobody wants to get up in the morning so early, you know, so I think it's a good idea.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Drivers who get less than 7 hours of sleep nearly double their risk for a crash, according to new research by the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety. A study by the foundation revealed drivers missing 2 to 3 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period nearly quadrupled their risk for a crash compared to drivers getting 7 hours of sleep. AAA says this is the same risk the National Highway Safety Administration associates with drunk driving. 1 in 5 fatal crashes on U.S. roadways each year is caused by drowsy driving. The foundation says 1 in 3 drivers admitted to drowsy driving at least once in the past month, where they were so tired they had a hard time keeping their eyes open. Drivers are advised to schedule a break every 2 hours on long trips and take turns driving with an alert passenger. An online petition is calling on city councilors to make Worcester a sanctuary city or a community that doesn't use their resources to aid in federal immigration laws. The petition says it wants to make Worcester a place where people from any background will continue to feel safe. The proposal says it would stop federal immigration raids from happening, but it would have no impact on the ability of police to do their job. Immigration lawyer Randy Feldman says he feels Worcester is already a safe city and the police department is not discriminatory.
The police chief has made it very clear that he really doesn't want to reach out to assist ICE in doing its job on finding immigrants. He sort of says, we do what we do as a police department, and ICE, you do what you do as the federal immigration authorities.
Feldman says he understands the motivation behind the petition following the election of Donald Trump, but he believes immigration should be a federal matter and policing should be a local one.
We should just let the federal government be the federal government, us be us, and we're already being us in a very positive way to immigrants as much as we can be, and it's probably better to just leave it like that.
So far, more than 260 people have signed the petition. City councilors last took up the issue in 2007, but never formally voted on it. Boston and San Francisco are 2 communities considered sanctuary cities. A pipe burst inside the Worcester Historical Museum is forcing the museum to close its doors this week. Our Rosalind Flaherty visited the museum and has more on what they are doing to reopen.
Water is not the friend of a museum.
A burst water pipe could have caused a historical disaster. Tuesday, crews were at work cleaning up at the Worcester Historical Museum. The damage forcing the museum to keep its doors closed.
It flooded our lower level, which means that we ended up with our boilers underwater.
Executive Director Bill Wallace says tens of thousands of gallons of water poured into the boiler room.
The impact was significant, but minimal to the history of Worcester.
Wallace says the lower level of the museum was also affected with water spreading throughout, and there was minimal damage to collection areas in textile and costume collections.
It was all domestic water, so it was clean, potable water. It was a matter of drying out cottons and making certain that they're flat and they're in good shape.
Wallace says the pipe may have burst from old age and will be replaced. The boilers will need to be replaced as well. He says artifacts are stored and shelved accordingly to make sure they are protected if something like this happens.
These are all treasures, and we are going to take care of them, and that's why we have a disaster plan. That's why we are prepared to respond to whatever the occasion might be that none of us would invite, but our realities of life.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
And an equipment malfunction is to blame for the melting ice on Worcester Commons ice rink. SMG confirms they are working to resurface the rink and freeze new ice on the Worcester Oval. Crews were out Tuesday afternoon clearing out the ice. The rink is normally open Friday through Sunday with extended hours during school vacation weeks. Crews say they expect the rink to be open for skating by Friday night. And Bay State Savings Bank helping others in support for Toys for Tots today with its annual boutique sale. The bank held its annual Shop for a Cause today. The bank partnered with Expressions of You to sell handcrafted jewelry, handbags, and hair accessories. It happened in its conference room. The event, it aims to give money to charity while also giving shoppers a chance to buy items without the hassle of going to the mall.
At this time of the year, who wouldn't otherwise receive anything for Christmas, so this is something that we can do, and Monica as well. It's a win-win-win, I think. We're working together in partnership.
And the total proceeds from the event will go towards the Toys for Tots charity. The fundraiser was held in Worcester.